A country drive, fresh air, a boot full of human bones.
Freeze! Don't move!
What the hell?
But before the bones, we need to go back several months to a baby. A baby cries for its mother, but she's nowhere to be found. One question grips all of Sydney: what happened to her mum? With the infant safe, police search for anything that may reveal some answers. They discover that the baby is the daughter of Zoe Zou, Sydney IT worker and part-time escort. After searching Zoe's apartment, police find nothing suspicious. Zoe looks like a loving mother, unlikely to abandon her child. However, CCTV reveals a clue. Zoe and her child had left the building the day before, in the company of a middle-aged man. 9 days later, this man comes forward to identify himself as Michael Wallace. A close friend of Zoe, Wallace claims he knows nothing of her disappearance. Police are obviously suspicious of Wallace, but with no evidence and no body, they can only wait and watch. 2 months later, a Sydney spray painter comes face to face with his inglorious past, a man he'd met in prison years before. It's Michael Wallace, and it turns out he has quite a history. A former federal policeman turned drug trafficker, Wallace wants a favour, but the spray painter isn't interested. He feels he's done his time, his criminal past, behind him, though Wallace convinces him otherwise. His first request? Need you to dispose of a mate's car. It's for an insurance claim. The second request comes a few months later. We have to go and fix something up and take it for a drink. 4 months after Zoe Zou's disappearance, Michael Wallace and the spray painter head to the Blue Mountains west of Sydney to collect the remains of Zoe and dispose of them at sea. Getting nervous after collecting the bones, the spray painter wants to stop for a drink. Out of nowhere, the police swoop.
Freeze! Don't move!
In the back of the vehicle, the remains of Zoe Zou are found. Police have their man. 55-year-old Michael Wallace is arrested for the murder of Zoe Zou, though the spray painter isn't charged. Disposing of a vehicle is one thing, but on learning that the vehicle belonged to the missing Zoe Zou, it was too much. Months earlier, he had turned police informant. Everything Wallace told the spray painter is recorded on a wiretap and used as evidence against him. We have to go, fix something up, take her for a drink. What the recordings reveal is a twisted and bizarre love triangle. Wallace had been intimate with Zoe, but knew she had another lover, a married man with 3 children who was also the father to Zoe's child. Though a loving mother, Zoe was poisoned with jealousy. She offered Wallace $20,000 to organise a hit on the married man's wife. Prosecutors would later argue that by accepting the offer, Wallace would win her continued affection. He was wrong. Zoe only wanted to be with the father of her child, and worse, she complained that it was taking too long to organise the hit. Feeling rejected, Wallace came up with another plan. Keep the 20 grand and turn the hit onto Zoe Zou. It took the jury barely an hour to unanimously accept the prosecution's case and find Wallace guilty of murder. He is sentenced to just 14 years in a high-security prison. If you believe murder can be a cure for jealousy, then make sure you check which direction the weapon is pointed.